Terra Sorg is a mindset coach for those ready to go to new heights in their professional and personal lives. She is a business owner, mental health therapist, and college professor. She is married with three adult children and loves spending time in nature. If you know something is holding you back but haven't been able to get past it, Tara will help you uncover it and break it apart. That is awesome. Welcome, Tara. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is fabulous.
No doubt, no doubt. So, can you dive in deeper into what it is that you're talking about concerning your bio that you said? I think that's a great introduction. And I know there's a whole lot of us that we've been holding ourselves back. There's a lot of things that we are missing, and we know you got the answers. So, please talk to us.
Yeah. So, what a lot of people, especially business owners, high achievers, people who are out there doing the stuff, right? What I find a lot of times is that they're doing the stuff and then they kind of figure out or kind of start to notice that I'm not doing this thing that I want to be doing and I can't figure out why I'm not doing it. So my job and something I'm really good at is figuring out what it is that's holding the people back, holding them back from actually like writing that book or creating that course or opening their store or whatever it is. So I've been doing this for over 20 years and I cannot say how much of an honor it is actually to work with very high achieving people and watch them soar because it affects not only our professional lives, it affects our personal lives too. So that's what I do.
I think that's so awesome. What was the thing that the ultimate point for you personally that was like, this is what I'm purposed to do to help others?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I found like when I was in my early 20s, I had, the letters, right? I had the letters behind my name, all that, sorry, BS. Um, and I'm a college professor and I'm saying this.
Hey,
And
no worries.
um, but what I found out is like I just kept sabotaging my own, like I knew I wanted to be a business owner even back then. And for some reason, every time I would step into the arena, I would self-sabotage and I could not for the life of me figure out why. Well, I thought out, back then it was like, well, maybe I need therapy. So I went in and I found this fantastic therapist. And back then I was an accounting major. When I first graduated
Woo, that's a
college,
huge difference too.
yep, and I was I'm an MBA, so I have my business degree, everything. And I went and saw a therapist and it changed my life. And then all of a sudden I started like when I was communicating with other people around me, and I had been doing this actually, like I had been talking with people in this way long before I even realized it. And it just started to like open up new doors. And I started to realize, wow, I'm really good at seeing into the depths of people's souls.
Mm.
And so, yeah, that's kind of what started me off. And then I finally went back to school and became a therapist. And then I owned my own brick and mortar. And now I'm doing stuff online. So,
That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. So here's another good question. Why do you think so many people shy away from the word or just the stigma of therapy? I have therapy. I,
mhm.
I am definitely an advocate of it because there's a lot, I got issues, and so, but there's so many people that they shy away from it. Like, why do you think that is?
I think in particularly here in the West, in the United States, there's this idea that, we're such an independent people. That's how our country was actually
Mm,
founded, right? Like, we wanted to get away from, or whomever wanted to get away from control of other countries and other dictatorships and monarchies and stuff. And so we pride ourselves on being independent. And so when it comes to therapy, the mind, somehow we believe that if we can't figure it out, there's something wrong with us. We're weak.
mm,
And really it's the contrary, because I have to say that some of the people I have seen in therapy are the strongest people I've ever met. And to me, the people who actually start to lean into addressing those things that they know are going on, that takes courage, because that's some hard ass work. Oh, sorry.
You're good. I'll be sure to, that what we're doing, this is for the adults that are out here doing it, putting that time in. So no worries. I'll be sure to put explicit if necessary. No worries.
Sometimes I'll
I'm
just say,
listening.
yeah. But yeah, like therapy is one of those things that I'm a firm believer in. I
Mhm.
participate in.
Yeah.
Really, actually, it's no different than exercise. Like you need to exercise
Mm.
the physical body. You also need to exercise the mental capacities.
Yes.
So that's how I look at it. It's much like
Yeah.
that.
It's so weird and it's so wild how people just they think it's got to be like I have to figure out everything when it's really not that. I've been like I have to figure out everything
Yep.
and I ain't figure out nothing. All I did was gain experience, which was what I needed, which was something that I knew I needed. And
Yeah.
then as I got older, I have found so much value
Yeah.
in the people who have achieved things that I'm looking to achieve,
Yep.
and whether it's spiritually, mentally, physically, and
Yep.
just like multiple areas. And it's like, I love that aspect.
Yep.
So, how can what you do affect the spiritual, the mental, and the physical?
Yep.
And even emotional, because that's four different parts right there.
Yep.
But yes.
Yeah, so really, I am a firm believer in we are one entire entity. I'm glad you said, we have these components of ourselves, right? We have that spiritual piece of us,
Yes.
we have our mental and emotional piece, we have that physical.
Yeah.
Um, all of this is a part of us. And when we actually address any one of those areas, we're addressing all of those areas.
Ooh.
So, I don't see this as a, one and done. Like when I feel good spiritually, then I'm ready to address the mental stuff. I'm ready to address the physical stuff, and vice versa. When I feel good mentally, wow, I want to connect with my God. I want to do all those things. I want to be out. I said, in
Yeah.
my bio, I like being out in nature, right?
Yeah.
So when any of these areas is thriving, it helps propel us in those other areas. So we can be
Oh
that
my
entire
God.
being.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you guys. I hope you guys are taking notes because I've been taking a couple of notes myself. But I hope you are taking notes because she is literally breaking it down and bringing it home. It's not just focusing on one part, but it's focusing on all parts. And when you take care of one, everything else is affected. And
Yep.
so when you just literally just work on each one, you're just going to get better. Similar to that book, Atomic Habits. Have you heard of that book?
Love that book.
Right? I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
excellent. Just he was just like, if we were to improve 1% of our lives every day, we
Yep.
would have improved our whole entire being 33% by the end of the year. I
Yes.
think that's absolutely fabulous, and that's what you're doing, and you're holding people's hands, which is so huge because, I mean, even myself, when it comes to new things, I'm like, I'm gonna blank out. I'm
Yep.
gonna blank out. So let me ask you this: how many generations are you serving, or how do you make it available for everybody with whatever learning period that they have, or
Yeah,
learning style that they have?
that's a really good question. Let me see. Honestly, I have always been in this mindset myself. Like, I look at what I do as I get to serve. I
Mm,
never, I never look at things as I have to. I look at it as I get to. I have the honor of. And so,
mm,
honestly, I try to connect with as many different generations as possible. And honestly, when I connect with any one person, I know that they are going to go out into the world in a different way, and it's going to connect other generations, other people. Because, if you think about it, none of us exist as one, like, we don't exist in like on an island by ourselves.
we sure don't.
So it's like whatever, I think when we interact with another human, no matter if it's like mindset or, Amani, I think about your business and how you help people, a lot on the business side, you are also impacting other people, whoever they come into contact with. So it's like, wow, we get to have an
Mm.
impact on other people. And when we address the stuff in our own lives, think about what that does for so many other people that we interact with.
Mm. That's so good. When you said, I don't look at it as I have to, I look at it as I get to. And you coming from an honor standpoint, I think that's something that it got me, because sometimes I feel like there's certain things. I'm not necessarily talking about business, but just in life in general. It's like, dang, I have to do this. I have to do this. But then thinking about it from a more gratitude, gratitude, is that even a word? Gratuitous. I don't even, y'all let us know. But a more from a gratitude standpoint
Mm-hmm.
of I get to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you say I get to, there's so many people who don't get to, or
Yep.
there's so many people, like you said, they sabotage themselves, they hold themselves back. So I have maybe about two or maybe three more questions for you. What is one tip that you don't mind sharing that can help us no longer sabotage
Mm.
the steps or our path, our purpose? One of those things. Surprise us, whatever you want.
Yep. Okay. So, one tip. What is the one thing I would say to you all? I would say the one thing that I find gets in the way a lot of times, especially with high achievers, y'all aren't sitting still.
Mm.
And so, if I had to give you one tip, it would be take 5 minutes today and do a little reflection about, am I doing the things I am called to do?
Mm.
Like, and that might mean taking a break.
Mm.
That might mean, wow, I really need to address the disappointment of whatever this thing is. It might
Wow.
be like sitting and being grateful for, the talents you have. It could be a lot of things, but take 5 minutes. Just sit still and reflect on what happens in your body, what's happening in your mind, what's just happening. And I'm going to sneak in like one extra thing here. When you are
Okay.
sitting still, don't judge anything that's happening. Like if your
Mm.
brain is just going a million miles an hour, notice it.
Okay.
Call it out. Just go,
Oh,
wow, I'm noticing my brain just, I'm having a hard time slowing down.
wow. You guys, I don't I need you guys to really grasp the importance of that, because we're all getting older. I
Mm-hmm.
realize, as I'm pushing 30 this year, I got this one gray hair. I don't even know if you can see it's the last time I cut my hair, it didn't even come off. I'm like, whatever, do your thing. That's that wisdom. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm finding value in literally doing what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
and what a difference it makes, because so there are successful people out there, but they're unhappy. They're always running at 50,000 miles an hour, and they're not really, I don't think, always enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I've struggled with. And literally what you've just said, that's something that'll help me as well, because it's like thinking about it even more, because I've judged myself. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, now I actually want to relax, and my body is just like thinking about everything, or my mind's thinking about everything, or it's like, dang, I want to get pumped up, but now it's just like, I'm feeling like this. And so you're breaking it down, and like you were saying, you guys, what she's saying is so true. When we really take care of ourselves, we can really take care of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot, and we can no longer devalue or push aside what it is that's going on in our lives. Like you said, when we feel disappointment, acknowledge it instead of pushing it aside, because if we don't acknowledge it, and please let me know if this is true, if we don't acknowledge it, it'll just hinder everything else that we're trying to do for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, the one thing I will say to that is, we don't like, none of us like negative feelings, right?
No,
So we
the
try really,
trash.
yeah, right. We try really hard to distract from it and just kind of push it away. And here's the deal. And here's your, another expletive just because it fits. When we try to push that shit down, it comes back with a vengeance. So
Mm,
the easiest way for that to not happen is to simply acknowledge that it's existing, feel the feeling so it can go away.
wow. Oh my goodness. You guys, um, now Tara and I, we met because we shared the same mentors, and she is just phenomenal. Like I would see her and think, I'm like, oh my goodness, she's so cute. She just looks like she gives the best hugs. And again, I can't wait to finally meet you so we can just like hug and just have fun because you exude grace, you exude elegance, and you exude peace. And a lot of people don't have that, and so many times people they're searching for, they're looking for it. I've been that. I'm like, Lord, where can I find this peace? And really we have to create it. And so I definitely consider you someone who's mastered at creating that just environment of peace and then helping people find their peace as well. So maybe we have time for a little bit of fun.
Go
And
for it.
then I would love for you to share how we can keep in touch with you, how we can find you, things of that nature.
Perfect.
So I'm going to say a word, and then I just want you to say the first word that comes to mind and why. So we'll just say health.
Health, as in
Yep.
HEL.
HEALTH. Yep.
Okay. Health. Exercise.
Okay.
And
Why?
why I say that is, um, Amani, I could be your mom. That's how old I am.
You don't
I have
look
a,
at y'all.
I have, I have a child older than you.
Oh,
Um,
shoot. You
right?
look good.
Um,
You look good.
oh. So one of the things I've really been working on is I have exercised every day for the last like almost year and few months. So I started on Valentine's Day. It was a gift to myself in
Okay.
2020.
That's amazing.
So,
That's consistency, that's tenacity, and that's discipline. A lot of people don't have that, and I think that's really, really great. All right, mentality.
stillness.
Okay. Ooh, why?
Um, mentality, I think for me, I'm a high achiever, so I'm always going at Mach 6. Um, so the one thing I have really learned in my age and getting older and things like that is stillness is probably the best thing I've ever done for myself.
Mm,
And it helps connect the entirety of me. So it affects my mentality, and it it's truly like, it made me smile when you said I exude peace, because that's always what you know, I love being content,
oh, that's
um,
awesome.
and peaceful. And so to me, stillness really affects my mentality and how I look at the world.
That's so beautiful. One last word, value.
Value, value. Gosh, my mind just went completely blank. Value, um, serving.
Mm, y'all heard that? Value serving. Okay, why? Why, my love?
Um, I am always about going the extra mile, and so that's what value means to me, is not only like our personal values, right? But just giving value away.
Wow. I love that. That's so beautiful. All right, my love, where can we find you? How can we keep in touch with you? How
Yeah.
can we learn more and, apply the tips that you're sharing and
Yeah.
actually purchase from you? Where can we do that? How can we do that? Talk to me.
Okay, so let's see, where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram. I give tips every day, and I have a weekly video on there that is life with less stress. That's kind of my world. Is I love, I think we're all dealing with a lot of stress. And so I want to like give people as many tips as possible. I also have a YouTube channel with the same name, Life with Less Stress. And I'm coming out with a new program. It's not on my website yet. My website is lifewithlessstress.com. I'm coming out with a program called the Unstoppable Accelerator.
Ooh,
And in that
okay.
program is a lot of stuff. It is heavy duty stuff where you can learn about things that are sabotaging your success. You can learn about things
Mm.
like being overwhelmed and getting more success, and I don't know, finding contentment and peace and things like that. So a lot of it, plus you get some individual coaching from me because I love doing that anyway. I love connecting with people. So come check me out. And if you have any questions, come find me. Like, shoot me an email, Terra, Terra at lifewithlessstress.com. I'm more than happy to give you things. So ask.
And ye shall receive,
You
y'all. Make sure you guys go ahead and visit Terra on all the platforms that she said. Like she said, life with less stress. I mean, you guys, that's everything because even in North America, that's one of the things that so many people are just struggling with every day. And like she said, with her new Unstoppable Accelerator program, you'll be able to get some virtual hugs from her with some actual sessions, and you'll be able to go through absolutely everything she got for you. So make sure you go ahead and visit her. Thank you so much for being on with us. We have nothing but love for you. You already know I got nothing but love for you, but I know that once everybody who's listening and or they watch this, they're going to have nothing but love for you. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Amani. You are just truly a blessing to me as well.
Mwah, no problem, my love.